Hey everybody, this is Adam at Archery Country. Today we're going to go over how to sight in a black gold driver style sight. I just installed the black gold dual track on my bow this morning, and so we're going to go through, show you how to adjust and get the most out of the sight so that way you're driving tacks. So let's begin. So say you come into one of our shops and you buy a black gold driver type sight. The first thing we're going to do is the pro staff, we're going to mount the sight on your bow and make sure that the first, second, and third axis are all leveled. Then the first step is going to go to 20 yards and shoot and get that sighted in. We want to make sure that we have that sight maxed out to the top of its range of travel. This way your pin gapping in a multi-pin sight will be consistent. Max that out, 20 yards. And then we're just going to move the housing initially. We're not going to be dialing it down if we need to adjust our elevation. And so I use a rangefinder, making sure I'm at 20 yards. So I just shot, I'm a little high. I'm going to take an Allen wrench and I'm basically going to get right into this little screw, loosen that up, and on this dual track I have micro adjust, and I'll rotate that knob. I shot high, I'm going to chase that arrow impact, and I'm going to move the housing up. Just got done at 20 yards, up, down, left, right, looks perfect. So now on this, I have 2 pins. I'm gonna set that second pin at about 30 yards. So I've adjusted the target, range-finded it, it's 30 yards. Using this bottom pin, it'd be a red pin in this scenario. And I'm gonna spend a good amount of time getting that dialed in exactly, because that's gonna be really important as we go to different distances on this drive system. With that bottom needle corresponding to that bottom pin, I wanna make sure it's exact, and that's gonna help with the sight-in process at farther distances. It's looking pretty good. Now, if I did have to adjust that sight, that second needle, I'll just be working with the bottom set screw here and adjusting that up and down to fine tune that. Right there, that's all set. So I have 20 yards with my top pin. Now I have 30 with that second pin. Now the next step is we're gonna go out to the farther distances, 10-yard increments, 40, 50, 60. The farther out you can get, the better, because we can make a more accurate sight tape. I already shot this one through the chrono. I had 280 feet per second, so I put that sight tape. Black Gold has pre-printed sight tapes based off bow speeds. They're already pre-gapped. And so I posted 280 feet per second, but with any chrono, there's gonna be a little bit of variance, since we have to go through and check that. And so again, I'm gonna go to 40 yards next. I'm gonna scroll down my sight until basically my indicator needle hits 40. Make sure I use the proper pin, and it's correlating with the proper needle on my sight tape. And then we're gonna walk it back and see how it goes. And if it's a little bit off, we'll make some marks, and then we'll put on a different sight tape. So we're all good at 40, things are dialed, hitting really good. Scroll this thing down to 50 yards and made sure to check that our 50-yard target's actually 50 yards with the rangefinder that we're gonna be hunting with. So now we're gonna send some down range and verify this sight tape again. So we just shot our first end at 50 yards. Shot group average probably about a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch high. So on my sight tape, being that I'm shooting high, I'm just gonna move my sight up, just like you would with any other sight. So on my sight tape, I'm probably gonna move it to like that 49 mark and try that. Again, shooting high, so I'm actually gonna shoot it for less yards. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference. I'm wanting to make sure that I make my mark where this bow is hitting. That way I can line up a new sight tape if needed, which in this case, probably will just slightly off. So again, 49 yards on my tape, 50 yards according to the rangefinder. And it should drop right in. So we just shot that second end at 50 yards. By adjusting my sight to 49, it drops them right in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a pen, and I'm just gonna make a mark right in that 49 hash. Once I have that, move the target back, rangefind it at 60 yards. Being that I'm shooting a little bit hot, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set it for probably 58, 59 yards, and then should be closer. It should keep that same trend going outward. So right there's 58. Again, we range finded it. I'm gonna shoot an end here and see if that'll work. So 59 yards got me right on at 60. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna make that mark. Now, we range find and move the target, it's now at 70 yards. So I'm gonna dial that sight down again. Probably gonna go 69 yards. We're gonna fire a round down range and get our 70 established. So we just got done verifying our 70-yard sight mark. Went through, made that pen mark. So what I'm gonna do now is, being that tape is actually slower than what the bow is, I went and I cut out the next fastest tape on the black gold sight booklet. And so this one's 282 feet per second. That one was about 280.5. So I'm gonna line up my 20-yard mark, make sure that's on. Then I'm gonna slide down and I'm gonna look basically in relation to what 50, 60, and 70 are on the new tape versus my old pen marks. And that one right there is actually gonna be right on. Yeah, that one's exactly on. Now, for some reason, this one wouldn't be it. I just go through, cut out the next one, and then line that one up. And so I just scrape that one off and then put this new one on, and then you'd be all set. The main thing when you're setting these sight tapes up and when you're going through and verifying is take your time. Make sure you're shooting good arrows. Most times, it'll take me probably a good 2 days. I'll shoot in the morning, I'll shoot in the evening, I'll do the same thing the next day. I like going through and being really thorough. That way I'm not constantly going through sight tapes throughout the summertime, whether I'm at a shoot or at the range, constantly being a little high or low. It's really easy to be precise with these black gold sights. Again, this is my first time with the dual track on my bow, and I really like it. I think it's gonna work out really well. And now I feel really confident that I got a good tape on there. And so make sure, if you have any questions on these, you can send us a chat, you can send an email, or you can come in the shop, ask us about this. Black gold has a variety of different sights, single pins, 3 pins, 2 pins, 4s, whatever you'd like. All of them have their perks and benefits, and we've worked with all of them. And so make sure to hit like and subscribe. We'll have a lot more great archery content coming out for you. Thank you.